Fitzy, welcome to ETH Denver. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's been a long week, but there's a lot of buzz around it, and it's obviously Ethereum convention, but a lot of Bitcoin stuff, so can't argue.
Awesome. Is this your first time in Denver or have you been here before?
First time in Denver. Not that I've seen much of it outside the conferences and the side events, but it's it's a beautiful place, and I'd love to actually go to the mountains one time.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think this place has one of the best ski area in the US. So
I can't ski, but it'd be nice to watch people, maybe grab a beer or a hot chocolate, but yeah, not participate, but just be there.
I've tried my bit and it doesn't work for me as well. But
I'd
yeah.
fall straight over.
Awesome. Well, welcome to the show. And so, very curious to understand your journey into Web3. When did you start? Like, what was your motivation? Would love to learn that.
Yes, I'll try and give you the short version. So I think like a lot of us, 2017, bought Bitcoin, knew the mission, hodl, not much to do with it. So I didn't really follow it at all, to be honest. COVID 2020, like a lot of us needed something to do. So I decided to learn macro, whatever that means. So I subscribed to a Real Vision, Raoul Pal's kind of macro educational platform, which is great.
Yeah.
And didn't get very far learning TradFi because it was very, very boring, to be honest. And I heard the word NFTs, and everybody watching this knows what happens when you hear about NFTs and Web3. You go down the rabbit hole. Did all that, landed in 2021 really in the actual space on X, and getting involved with communities. Bought some NFTs. Subsequently, lost some money on some NFTs. Bought some coins. Lost some money on some coins. And then in terms of like working in the space, the first role was with P2E Ethereum P2E in 2022. Moved out to LA. That died in the bear market. Okay. And then moved on to a social Web3 social commerce platform being built by Snoop and a British entrepreneur called Sam Jones. It was really cool. Worked there for a year, and social commerce, learning all about that in Web3 was great. Did a bit of consulting with my favorite project, On-Chain Monkey. And then around 10, 11 months ago, joined Tap Protocol, and here we are.
Oh, very cool. So you started about 10 months ago?
Yeah, I think it's probably 10 months roughly next week or something like that.
Oh, super. So yeah, tell us about Tap Protocol. What are you trying to solve?
So the short version is Tap Protocol is Bitcoin DeFi, but a bit more detail on that is it's L1 Bitcoin DeFi.
Okay.
We have a lot of options. I think there's around 150 plus at this point that are building Bitcoin DeFi in different ways. You either have a roll-up or a sidechain or an L2. And the one thing that they all share, at some point, someone's assets are not going to be in their own custody. It might be in a multi-sig, or you might have a synthetic asset once you've bridged across.
Exactly.
Tap is the only Bitcoin L1 DeFi solution that allows users to retain full custody, full control, with Turing smart contracts. And we use a new approach called L1 co-processing. So essentially, the only thing you're trusting is the assets on Bitcoin themselves, native assets, and the smart contracts of layer one chains such as ICP, but then also things like it could be Tron or Cardano, Ethereum, Solana. So it's an entirely new way of doing it, but that's kind of like the more deeper version of what Tap is.
So basically no bridges, direct interoperability, and no trust assumptions.
Yeah, I mean, for anybody that's kind of like, a dev, you're essentially using the logic, the smart contracts of a trusted L1 chain, highly decentralized, highly secure, and you're manipulating the UTXOs directly on Bitcoin. So there is no giving away of custody. And so it allows for true DeFi.
And you think of Tap Protocol as more of an ecosystem that you're trying to build. So can you tell us like what kind of use cases are being built? Are you doing some of them internally? I know Taperoo Swap, maybe tell us more about that.
Yeah.
And you've been also telling me about this interesting AI stuff that's happening on the protocol. So I would love to learn a little bit more about that.
I think that's two of the most exciting ones. I mean, I use the phrase true DeFi, and we mean this, like true DeFi. Think about Uniswap's fully decentralized, so is Taperoo Swap. And so you have a DEX, like literal AMMs, all the kind of DeFi primitives that you would expect, things like stable coins. We have an Ethereum bridge and also a Tron bridge. And so we already have USDT, USDC, and they're like the backbone of a real true, that word again, true DeFi ecosystem. And so, things like AMMs and DEXs and stable coins, like that's one of the most exciting things I think that you could have on Bitcoin. And, keeping custody again to highlight that. And then the AI stuff, of course, AI is kind of a buzzword, right? There's a lot of people here talking about AI. There's people on Twitter talking about AI. And there's different layers of it, but ultimately, what's being built is a project called Big Noodle, being built on Tap Protocol, and it is I won't go too technical, but it's a decentralized, it's a deep in GPU network.
Uh-huh.
So essentially, you can have AI swarms that are fully decentralized, ownable assets as an ordinal, as an Ethereum asset, and then also as a Solana asset. But there's kind of two layers to the level of decentralization: at the software level, at the actual protocol level, as we discussed, but also at the hardware level. And so this is like where real, true, decentralized AI agentic economies can grow. So we're really excited about that.
Very cool. So amongst like all of these different things that are happening in the I mean, obviously the underlying is the Bitcoin. It's like the main chain with the most liquidity, most user, most adoption. So like, what is the thing that you are most excited about personally in the ecosystem, like about Tap protocol and also beyond? What do you think is like your vision for the space over the next couple of years?
I mean, it's a big question. What is my vision or our vision for the space? I think I always bring it back to the fundamental things, and it's why I highlight the level of custody and the level of decentralization, is that there are many options that are building DeFi, right? Building programmability and smart contracts for assets. And they're doing them in different ways. And you know, L2s and rollups and sidechains, they'll all have liquidity, they'll all have users. But I think as we go further into the future, that the level of decentralization and ownership that people want, the average person maybe today doesn't really care or really understand the difference. I think we're going to see naturally, because this is Bitcoin, we're going to see those core principles of full decentralization, full security. We believe that building all of these things in the full L1 way is going to give way more opportunities for institutional money, corporations to come and build, to know that there's trust to pass down to their consumers. And so we're just excited about actually being, and I hate to say it, but early, right, in Bitcoin, and we really are. It's only been 2 years since the Ordinals protocol even went live and allowed for meta protocols like ourselves. But no, we're just really excited about the natural evolution of the DeFi ecosystem and the full programmability ecosystem that's inevitably going to be building out on Bitcoin.
Sounds like a super exciting future. And yeah, welcome to ETH Denver again. Enjoy your day. And thank you for being here.
No, thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.